Hello, good morning, guys. Here is Hit Zero here. So I'm going to perform a few SQL injection uh, on a website I have on my lab called DVWA. So this web platform is for test purposes. So anybody can use them to build a lab and use it to master his skills on pen testing. So this test is only for educational purposes. Please don't try to perform this type of attack on any website. You are not authorized to do so, which which can be can go up to imprisonment. So okay, first of all, I will show you how to create a policy, ASM security policy on a F5 WAF. WAF stands for Web Application Firewall. So it's a very powerful device which can protect your web server behind your DMZ, for example. So I'm going to show you. I will open the my F5. So I already create the policy, but it's still in transparent mode. But before putting it to the blocking mode, so I will perform few tests and see the behavior, and then move back from uh, transparent mode to blocking mode to see also the difference. So right now, as we said, so our web vulnerable application or is not protected at all. It's already behind my firewall, but still it's not protected because of the policy is still in transparent mode. So what I'm going to do, so I will perform this SQL injection command. So this one below. So this one I highlighted it. It just, if I run it, it will just extract all the password from the DVWA web server database. So this one can be very useful for an attacker to find out whose usernames and what so that he can use it for against your web server. So this one also will give you, this second command will give you information regarding the admin account. So as I said, I already have my ASM security policy created, which is called DVWA underscore tests underscore policy, but it's still in the transparent mode when you look at it here. And already I have assigned it to my web virtual server from here, security, then policy, and it's already here. All right. So now I'm going to jump to my Kali Linux box to perform those tests and see the behavior. So the first one from the command line. So let's run this one. Okay. Okay. So this one is done. So let's also perform our SQL injection on our web server. So the first command is this one. Sorry, sorry here. Copy, and then go back to my. So this is my web server in my lab. So it's called hackson.f5demo.com. So as I said, anybody can use it on his own lab to perform and master his pen testing skills. So always make sure that on the DVWA security tab, so the security is set to low. If you put it to a high or impossible, it will not work. You will not be able to simulate your testing. So now I'm going to go to SQL injection tab. Okay, press enter, submit. So here it shows me all the list of username. For example, here admin Gordon B, your first name 1237, first name Pablo. So all these are just information regarding your let's say employees or username stored on your web server database. So if a hacker can get those information, so it will be very useful for him to perform some kind of attack against your web server. All right, so the next one I'm going to perform, this one here. Okay, so let's see what will be the behavior. Submit. So it gives us also, as I said before, earlier, it will show us just the information regarding our admin account, for example, first name, and so those information are very useful for a hacker to be able to exploit some kind of vulnerability on your web server. So right now, as I said, this web server is not protected at all. It's, even though it's behind our firewall, it's not protected until I switch the ASM policy from transparent mode to blocking mode, and then we will perform the test again to see the behavior compared to the first test we did. All right, so now from here I'm going to go to security, then application security, then security policy list. All right, and from here, this is the policy, the security policy I did created. So I click on it. So it take few time to open. Okay, it shouldn't take too long. Should open anytime. Okay. So while it's doing that, so this web server is free on the internet. Anybody can use it, and just set up your lab. Make sure you do your lab properly, and start learning. This is a very powerful vulnerable web server for training purposes. All right. So it's taking a little bit of time here. Okay, let's open it again. Okay, so finally it's open. So as you can see, it's in transparent mode. So I'm going to click on here and then switch it to blocking mode. Okay, so here where it says general settings, we see enforcement mode is in transparent mode. So I'm going just to switch it to blocking. Save, very important, don't forget to save it, and then apply. So it's applying. So after it finishes applying, I'm going to run the same test I did before. So we should see a different behavior. So at that point, we should be able to say our ASM F5 WAF is able to protect our web server properly and very efficiently. So it has been done. So let's move to my Kali Linux box. And then I'm going to run the same test we did before we block. Okay. So here, let's go back. Okay, perform the test. So I expect to see a different behavior. All right, so here we see our ASM web application firewall have blocked this kind of requests because they are malicious requests for a hacker, from a hacker. So right now we see the URL was rejected. Please consult with your administrator, and your support ID is this one. So this is just to show you that the ASM firewall was able to recognize this type of attack and then block it. So if I go back, so run the second one also, it should be the same. It should be able to block it. Okay, here is, so paste this one. Oh, sorry, 1 second here. So blocked. Okay. Again, let's redo it here. Okay, let's go back to SQL injection tab again. Paste. All right. So now we see that our firewall ASM security policy was able to block this kind of request, SQL injection request. So let's go. Now we can say our web server is really protected properly. So let's go back to my logs to prove it. Okay, so now we should see everything is blocked. So for example, it tells us attack signature, and then attack type, it tells us SQL injection. uh, if we go back here, we can open the tab so that we can see it properly, or more clear. So at the top right hand side, when I click it, it says attack signature detected for. So we see detected keyword. So you can see it's highlighted in red. Attack signature, it tells you the ID. It tells you here is blocked. So all those kind of good stuff. And then here on the right hand side, it tells you attacks type, SQL injection. And then it tells you request status. It's blocked. It's been blocked by my application, I mean firewall. And it tells you also the virtual server name. It tells you also the policy. So which is very cool to be able to control your web application behind your firewall. All right. I think that's all I wanted to show you for today. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you a safe stay home, and take care of yourself for now. Okay, bye bye.